Hi, I'm Tommy Alderson. I'm Steve Morse's guitar tech in Deep Purple. I'll be walking you through the basic steps of Steve's rig today. He's been playing Ernie Ball guitars for 25 plus years exclusively. They've built a very customized model for his styles of playing, I should say. We come out of the guitar, we go into, I call it a buffer box, which it's actually a Y splitter. It sends the guitar signal either to the amp after it's been buffered, or it sends it to this tuner. This goes from the guitar goes straight into the Engle Steve Morse model amplifier, which is a 3-channel amplifier that Engle has designed, Steve and Engle together. Great amp. It's 3 channels again. We've got a clean channel, an Engle style overdrive channel, and the 3rd channel is exclusively Steve's, customized for Steve's playing, with many different mid-range controls, high-mid controls, different all this is programmable. You got a regular volume and a solo volume, I call it. And the high gain control, which is a global programmable position. Same thing with the tone, it's programmable and that's global. Noise gate built in. We run straight into this is the only head that's used for the main rock and roll dry sound. This head feeds 4 cabinets, 4 of these 6 cabinets. It feeds these 2 cabinets, the 2 inside cabinets, and the 2 outside cabinets is fed by the 100-watt Engle amp. And that pretty much stays in place the whole time. There's no effects returned to that amp. It keeps its character consistent. The effects send on this amp, the main amp, is fed to the memory mans. It's actually split in the mixer here. This is our mixer. Here's our input to it. That sends the Engle rock and roll dry sound and splits it to 3 effects units. This is a long delay. No, I'm sorry, this is short. It's a different rig. Long delay, probably about 400 milliseconds with 2 or 3 repeats. And we like to use chorusing on the echo tails. The echo tails are chorused. Same thing with the short delay. It's set up for a very, very quick slapback style sound, and it's also chorused. And the 3rd leg of the split goes to the octave, whichever octave pedal we can find. That changes a lot. All these 3 effects go to these pedals out here. And that's why you'll see this is the long delay that's chorused. So the signal is coming from the memory man into the pedal. Out of the pedal, it feeds another Engle amplifier, which we call the wet amp. The wet amp then just feeds these 2 center cabinets. So the effects are completely independent of the dry rock and roll amp. And it's a fun rig. It's lots of power. The effects are tremendous because we have a whole stack just for our effects, which is completely independent of our rock and roll sound. all 3 channels and different combinations of programmable effects and tones are set in on our Engle Z9 pedal switcher. Stuff's been through the war and it hasn't skipped a beat. We use 5 presets for the 3 channels. It's pretty basic setup, really. It just looks a lot more complicated than it is.
So you prefer the volume pedal approach as to just switching in effects?
Yeah, very much so. Steve, from what I'm gathering, really tends to play the rhythms and stuff basically dry, you know, and even, you know, medium soloing, but he'll add a like while he's soloing, like if he hits a note, he'll feed a little more reverb or echo, but then he pulls it out enough that it still completely is audible. You know, you can still hear all the playing, and he's able to ride the solo, I call it. You know, it's much more effective. You know, you're not stuck with A, B, C, D. You know, it's basically infinitely controllable, depending on how you feel, what the acoustics are that night. You know, if the acoustics of the venue are weird, which sometimes they can get pretty strange, you don't want to use the same effects you would have pre-programmed. You don't have to pre-program anything with this. You just lay off a little bit, you know. Same thing with the short delay and the chorusing, and the octave pedal, which uses a couple solos a night maybe. You know. But it's completely controllable to taste at any time. That's the beauty of it. And the fact that sonically, I think it's superior because there's 2 separate rigs altogether. Really fun to play.
I bet you have, and you've not been here.